Give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Man, got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purchase. Bitch, tell your shit. Stick that shit for. This young lady drunk on shit. Either the sun, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Why you think it's a Zulu chillin' on my stoop? My heavens on earth, the universe begot my roots. It ain't no ego too new to me, I call y'all flukes. Age of Aquarians drooling for the star sign juice. It ain't no level too high up, that we can't reach with our eyes closed like no cap. Infinite water deep dive, Ralph smart to these dumb nugs, y'all flowing, jack, give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Man, got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purge. Bitch, tell your shit. Sit that shit for. This young lady drunk on shit. Either the sun, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Already know I'm designer. My type of cloth ain't a missus. I just mean like I'm an honor. Give it the time and the dick. I'd rather you keep it 1,000. I smack all that cap off your lip. Look at the dumb, make a script with the dollar. So after we fuck out the dick, trick, catch your feet. If you don't mind, get the fuck out my way. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Is it worth looking at the chat? Checking things like that? Seeing who's in here? You know what I'm saying? I know it's cobwebs, right? But here's the beautiful thing about going live with nobody watching. You experiment all day. Of which is it's why we here. I'm saying, I know, like, if y'all familiar with like how I just like run stuff, you know, I'm a pre-record kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? Kind of pre-record the thing, post it up, blah blah blah. Trying something new, right? W. Yeah, man, it's Generations POV. If y'all know anything about this channel, y'all know we break down the POVs of the different generations that we know of. You understand what I'm saying? The one generation that we don't completely know a lot about yet, but we can just kind of roughly project, you know, the energy that we are to expect, right? One elementary mistake that I made, right? I just realized that now. I ain't got my headphones, Nate. Man. Y'all, give me a second, y'all.
Give me a second, a second, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. Alright. Well, I would say how y'all doing, but you know, it's nothing but cobwebs, you know what I'm saying? But in the future, we finna get it right? We finna get it right. That's a fact. Right, now. I just gotta connect my different shit. Where you gotta go and shit. Alright, just 1 second, y'all. 1 second, y'all. Get my volumes right and shit. Okay. No, not that one, man. Yeah. Alright, man. Right, man. Now. Let me just see if my volume is right. Okay, we good. My fault. Wine for the night, man. I drink it straight out the bottle. I don't give a fuck. What are we looking at? Gen Z? Well, Gen X expand. Oh yeah. The one thing I wanted to say. If y'all know anything about this channel, y'all know we break down, you know, generations. All the different generations that we know about, right? That we know of. Hold on, let me just see the strength of my internet, bro. My internet be like tripping, like it might just cut the stream, you know what I mean, and then just jump back on and then cut it off and then jump. It's not a strong connection, right? Working on it. So it might just do that little flip. That's what I'm saying, like the magic of like having nobody here, unless you're here right now. It's like, you know what I'm saying. WU, bro. Facts. Now, yeah, as I said, we break down the different generations, what we know of them, etc., etc. We know of, yeah, we don't go as far as baby boomers or zoomers. They call them zoomers nowadays. Now, we don't go as far as that. We go, you know, Gen X. We go millennial. We go Gen Z. We go Gen Beta. Now, the one generation we don't entirely know a lot of things about, we can only project, is Gen Beta, because they literally are like literally getting born 2025. Yeah, they literally was born like yeah, last month. That's a fact, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much the framework that we work with on this channel, right? You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, bro, let the experiment begin, right? Let the social experiment begin. What do we got? Let me see this. Y'all know I gotta introduce my little joint. Jointski joint, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado type shit. My name is Phrase96. I'm glad you could join me, not right now, but post, probably, whenever you catch this, right? Post this live, Generation X Explained. It is what it is. Channel What It Looks Like TV. That's an interesting name. Very interesting name. Oh yeah, by the way, this week's background music, or should I say this month, because I'm literally trying to stretch out my postings, right? I'm gonna have this live, these kind of lives, and then post the pre-recorded material as well. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just trying to get my watch hours out there, bro. Like, yo, I remember just, you know what I'm saying? I remember just like thinking about my watch hours. I checked them shits. It said 2% watch time. 2%. I'm talking about, you know, until we reach our monetization level, right? Nigga, 2%? Sorry, y'all. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I work my ass the fuck off for 2%? Right? I ain't gonna lie, kind of depressing. So I was like, yo, let me get the live on, and then I started just conceptualizing how to just like round up my watch hours so that we set a goal for an amount of watch hours to cover, aka the 4,000 watch hours, right? That we gotta cover. Yo, and with the strategy that I have in mind, I'm not gonna lie, dog, I work a 12-hour job, a 9 to 5, right? So, you know, a like, a share, like something, like make a dislike, nigga, like something, like engage with the content so we can eventually reach that goal, not having the 12-hour job distract us. You know what I'm saying? So this entertainment, this value-tainment, this value that I'm exchanging, this value that I'm just like, actually us kicking it together, right? I want us to be able to maximize on that, right? That's a fact. So I got this little goal of mine, this little strategy, yeah, to get to my 4,000 watch hours, so that I can be full-time catering to y'all, whether live, whether post live, whatever, whether live or whether post the recording. Yeah, y'all know what I mean. But yeah, fuck all that yappity yap, man. Let's see how they be explaining this Gen X, bro.
I'm not here to say one generation is better than another.
What are you here for then, brother? You know what? What are you here for? And while you think about that, let me just adjust my speed right quick. Right?
The Generation X is the best.
What are you talking about, old nigga?
You're goddamn right.
I actually think it's kind of funny when I see these little kids.
Okay, it's clear. This video was created by Gen X. Bet.
It's coming at people from my generation. You see, when you're a generation raised on safe spaces, it's not wise to come at a generation raised on mosh pits. See, when we have a problem with somebody, we can...
Generation raised on mosh pits. That definitely gives Gen Z vibes. My fault, yo. My fault. I'm just adjusting everything. Yo, it's a social experiment. You gotta remember, right now in this present moment, it ain't nobody here, unless it's like one person that just stumbled upon this live. Right? Shout out to you if you happen to stay, for a duration of time that's long enough to count as a view. Yo, shout out to you. Facts. But yeah, as you know, I'm assuming it's nobody here. I mean, I ain't got chat nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not even trying to. I'm just trying to focus on cooking the material, giving you the best reaction, giving you these opportunities to engage with me, right? Instead of focusing on like the numbers and the traffic and the blah blah. So without further ado, though, that was the last interruption. My bad.
Text it to them from like 30 miles away and hide behind a screen.
Okay.
We had to say it to their faces.
Say it.
And yeah, sometimes hands were thrown.
So generation mosh pit, I'm guessing Gen Z, that's what he means, right? Gen Z, because Gen Alpha is too young to even know what the fuck mosh pit means. Boom. Right?
Bruises were caused. But you know what else happened?
What?
Skin was thickened. Hearts were hardened. Words don't scare us. We were raised on your mama jokes starting
they the military generation.
in like kindergarten. In my generation, only the strong survived. Look, there's like 88 million millennials,
How?
77 million boomers. There's only 65 million Generation X. We
Whoa.
killed off the weak ones. I said what I said.
You killed them? Wait. Hold on, bro. Yo, are y'all hearing what he's saying? He's saying they committed mass murder, bruh. Who the fuck y'all kill? Bro, how the fuck is you proud about being a murderer, nigga? And I feel like at the same time, that's when like probably a whole lot of serial killers came out of about this generation, right? I may be wrong. Leave it in the comments if you're here. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
He ain't lying.
He's not.
Generational war brewing over on TikTok right now, and everybody's in the mix except for Gen X. And it's a couple people that's wondering why Gen X isn't involved and why nobody wants to mess with Gen X. We're gonna answer some of them questions in today's episode.
Let's do it. Whoa.
What it look like TV.
What it look like?
I am back. What it do, baby?
YouTube
That's
Barnell
funny.
Hill.
Did ya miss me?
Your very own spokesman for the Insidians. We're inside and we're comfortable.
They're so comfortable.
And I'm back with another one. And today, y'all, we gonna get into these generational wars.
Okay, first off, yeah, he does. Homie right here does look like a Gen X.
Cracking off over on TikTok, man. We got
like as in born when 1980, 1979, 74. I
the
don't know,
Boomers
something.
versus Gen Alpha, Gen Z versus Gen Alpha. We got the Millennials versus we got everybody except for anybody versus Gen X. And I'm gonna try to explain to y'all a little bit about Gen X so y'all can understand.
Nah, fuck that. That's why we got this channel here. So we can find every reason to go against Gen X. Facts.
Stand us a little bit better, and you're gonna see exactly why nobody pretty much wants it with Gen X, because we different.
Stop
I truly
it.
think our kids only know who we.
Man, watch out, man. Watch out, nigga. I feel like, you know what? I feel like the whole situation of maybe people even assuming that Gen X is untouchable or whatever like that, it's like, bro, nothing is relevant about y'all niggas no more. What the fuck is relevant about you? Like, what the hell I'm gonna get on, like, what the hell I'm gonna be on a back and forth with a Gen X for, dog? Answer me that. Right? Nah, this here, my fault.
Really are.
It's a problem. My problem is that you didn't get off your lazy ass and charge.
Charge this phone.
She coming to now. She waking up. Hey, pumpkin. Yeah, you got a little stupid. You forgot I'm old school.
What you mean?
We're not gonna do that. I had to take care of some business. Get up, girl. Let's go have a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, and we'll talk about
or
it.
Dr.
Dr.
Pepper.
Okay. All right. Get up.
But like I said, man, it's a couple people over on TikTok that's asking the questions, and they're getting some swift answers.
Why does it have to be
Gen X
TikTok?
off the hook? Why aren't we talking shit about those guys?
Hello, 51-year-old Gen X here.
Whoa.
Thank you for your questions and acknowledging the
Nah, pack it up, buddy. Get your ass up.
fact that we actually exist. To answer your initial question, if you saw a bear walking around the streets or in the woods minding its own business, would you keep on walking or would you approach it to fuck around and find out? Most people don't talk shit about us because they forgot that we even exist. I mean, we are called the forgotten generation for a reason. Our numbers are much smaller than the boomers and millennials, so we're the middle child stuck in between.
What you mean?
Sarcasm is also one of our love languages, so even if someone were to...
Nah, y'all got dry ass dad jokes, bro. If you call that sarcasm, it's over with, buddy. Watch out.
talk shit about us, chances are we didn't give enough of a to take it seriously.
They were teenagers in the 80s.
False statement. We were forced to become teenagers and adults between the ages of 7 and 9. We
Why?
were latchkey kids. We were left at home.
Between the ages of 7 and 9, forced to become teenagers? Who the fuck does that? Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all had savages for parents. Yo, y'all parents were who the fuck expects their kid to be like a teenager by age 9? By age 7? You're not even a preteen. Wait, hold on. Let me just make sure of that. I may be talking out the side of my neck, my boy. Hold on. What is a preteen, right? That's the question. Hold on. Hold on. Just a second.
Hi there, Cesware.
Yo, co-pilot. How are you doing, sir? Huh? How are you?
Hey, Cesware. I'm doing great. Excited to chat with you.
Yo, what is a preteen? Define a preteen. What age range are people considered preteens?
Sure, Cesware. So I'm right here, Cesware, and actually you're looking at your.
What is a preteen? Explain preteen.
You got it. We're talking about the good old preteen years. Basically, that nifty age range around 9 to 12 when you're not quite a kiddo anymore.
9 to 12? Okay, nah. But homie was like, yo, at age 7, they was expecting them to be teenagers. Who the fuck does that? No, he legit said 7. Look.
All the time. Chances are we didn't give enough of a to take it seriously.
They were teenagers in the 80s.
False statement. We were forced to become teenagers and adults between the ages of 7 and 9. We were latchkey kids. We were left at home all the time by our parents to fend for ourselves or our siblings once we got old enough to form complete
That's terrible.
sentences. And if we weren't home alone by ourselves, we were either out in the streets or the woods, drinking out of warm garden hoses, water sliding in our front yards, or going up the street to our local a tetanus shot waiting to happen type playground, whether it's spinning around the merry-go-round of doom or going down a hot metal slide during the summer, or simply just hang out with our friends in the streets, sometimes on our BMX bikes, our big wheels, or the bicycles with the tassels on the handlebars with the basket in front where sometimes we place our younger siblings in.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Let's point out the fact that, yo, let me give this to, you know what I'm saying? Let me give this to my what is it, Gen Xers, right? Let me give this. What sound effect am I looking for? Oh yeah, this one. Let's give this. I'm not gonna lie. These guys, yeah. Give it up. Give it up. You, give it up, now. Oh, you still gonna just chill? Oh, alright. Whatever. Look, I feel like we're gonna give it up for these guys for like the fact that they had to come out. They had to come up with their creativity from ground up. You know what I'm saying? AKA, they had to come up with their own form of entertainment within their own minds. They had to create that shit. Facts. They had to create their own form of entertainment, bro. We, you know, well, look, okay, for the record, like I'm millennial, right? I'm like best of both worlds in terms of the analog world versus the digital world, right? I'm in between the two. Shit, something's in my throat. Pause. My bad, auntie. My bad, sister, brother. My bad, neighbor. Look, I'm in between, right? So I know a world where I had to come up with my own kind of creative ways of just entertaining myself, right? I remember, man, being a youngin', bro, like tying, you know the towel, you know what I'm saying, the towel that you dry yourself off with after taking a shower or whatever. I remember taking the ends, right, of the towel and just tying them around my neck, well, not too tight, you know, to a point where I couldn't breathe, but tying that up to, you know, pretend to be Superman. Facts. That was it, you know what I'm saying? Pushing bricks outside, pretending, yo, it's a cold ass Corvette, nigga. Facts. It's a cold ass lamb. I'm talking about, nigga, break to the freaking ground, playing, nigga, going crazy. And then situations, you know what I'm saying, started changing, you know, in terms of this technological advances, man. You know, cell phones, you know, internet, you know, sharing music with through the Bluetooth, you feel me? First wave of just gooning. Okay, I don't know why I said that out loud. It was supposed to be a silent thought. Right, you know what I'm saying? So just like, you know, the beginning stages of just like how this new technology, aka cell phones, really. Cell phones, the internet, really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just like the beginning stages of just like how they, you know, the developers of these new worlds, these new technological worlds, you know, would just like develop these devices to be entertaining, right? I was like, I experienced both of them, but these guys, they had like literally from what, infancy or whatever the fuck, to, you know what I'm saying, to adults, bro. Like these niggas had to just create their own ways of entertainment. That's crazy. That's hard. Nah, salute. That deserves a right. Ka-ting. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we talk of that, like creating your own entertainment, Gen X, man, y'all got it.
Just imagine constantly being in survival mode and being told by your parents to either walk it off or rub some dirt in it whenever you got hurt. We were able to do all of that and still make it home before the streetlights turned on.
They had the coolest...
the streetlights turning on realities. Leave a like on this video if you relate to that one. That one, yeah, that one. That one was a deep one.
Music. 100% agree with you. And this is not me being biased, being that I grew up in the 70s and the 80s and got to experience all of this stuff, but rather based on facts. To back this up, let's look at some 80s trends currently making a comeback. Let's start with some 1980s movie remakes such as Ghostbusters, Firestarter, Doom, Footloose, Carrie, just to name a few. And can we all agree that Cobra Kai is one of the best TV series based on a movie that we've seen in recent years?
No.
And let's not forget about Stranger Things.
Yeah, shout out my nigga Tyler. You know what I'm saying? One of the best millennials to do it, you know what I'm saying, to come out this earth. Facts.
Next up, 80s fashion. Bell-bottom jeans, big bangle bracelets, acid-washed anything, leg warmers, big bright neon colors, fanny packs, I can keep going. Our music became classical rock and is now featured in grocery stores worldwide.
Where are those motherfuckers now?
Based on the overwhelming response that your video received, I think it's safe to say that we've always been here, just sitting here drinking our coffee and watching the shit show. So yeah, you can go ahead and try to talk shit about Gen X, but chances are we're just gonna look at you and say, I don't even give a whatever.
My man shut all that down, and he looked like he's 35, man. You really can't mess with Gen X. He looked younger than the boy that was talking trash. But anyway, man, hell
nah. Man, fix your lens, nigga. What you talking about?
We immediately dropped the hammer and let them know, don't do this.
Don't do that.
How did you guys do it? How did you stay out of the generational hate war?
I think there's a better question to be asked here. Would you really want us to get involved? Because Gen X truly is the last of the FAFO generation. And before you ask us to FA...
Bro, this is literally the 6th time I see that, or I hear of that phrase, or that abbreviation FAFO. I need to know what it means.
Hi, Caesar.
So it's literally the 6th time I run into the abbreviation FAFO. It's, I think it's... Whoa, you can't hear me, bro? Can you hear me, bro? Yo.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the abbreviation FAFO, what does that stand for? In modern, in modern day slang, meaning?
Well, Sizway, looks like we're at a nice little crossroads here. You're staring at a page that's whispering, hey, want to prep for an elementary school?
Come on, bro, stop doing that. What's the abbreviation FAFO stand for, bro? That's it.
Mm-hmm. You're asking about safer, right? That abbreviation actually stands for safe for all. It's kind of a shorthand.
No, wait. FAFO. What does that mean?
Oh, got it. You meant FAFO. That one's a little cheeky. It usually stands for fool around and find out. It's kind of a playful way of saying if you test the waters, you'll see what happens next.
For real? Okay. Shout out co-pilot.
Ask yourself, do you really want to FO? This generational hate war.
Oh, fuck around. No, wait. Fuck around, find out. Do you really want to FO? Do you really want to find out? Boom! Alright.
Or we're not involved because we don't care. Do you really want us to care? Yeah, we didn't get participation trophies, so before we get on, understand there's going to be a clear-cut winner and loser.
Is that why y'all got this dry-ass personality about y'all?
It will be a hands-on activity. Gen X is the last of the feral and wild and free children. It's like Lord of the Flies. We were all raised by each other. Think of it kind of like the Jungle Book. We're all just Mowgli. And before either parties think that they could hang with Gen X and drink the Kool-Aid, I need to remind you, our Kool-Aid was made with hose water. Our parents weren't out here just...
Bro, this guy either created the video that I reacted to last time. My last Gen X reaction video. Because yeah, that one, that's where I got the the whole, yes, our fun was drinking hose water and blah blah blah, like these exact words, bro. I guess it's a staple for these guys, drinking hose water. But how do y'all put pride on that? That's crazy. That's neglectful as fuck.
Anything. They did not raise us to be their friend. Truthfully, they didn't really raise us at all. We came home when the street lights came on, because home, there was chores at home. There was work to be done at home. And we understood that we didn't want to do that. For Gen X kids, home is not where the heart is. Home is where they wanted you out by the time you were 18. You better have a job.
Shit! Oh, shit. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of my millennials out there being raised that way, dog. Nigga, by 18, I want your ass the fuck out of here. Facts. I don't mean to laugh, bruh. Like, I went through that shit. That shit damn near traumatized me. Facts. I'm not gonna lie, dog. That shit was the death of me, man. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't think people understand. Gen X truly doesn't have like a social group. Our social group was like the Breakfast Club. You just dealt with the people who lived on your street. Your friends were the people who lived in your area. That was your crew.
Me too, though.
You rode around on your little 10 speeds with them like little Sons of Anarchy motorcycle club. People who grew up as Gen X have more miles by the time they were 13 years old on their 10 speeds than you'll ever get off of some kind of spin class. I rode around in the old neighborhood the other day from where my house was to where the pool was. It is 5.5 miles. We made that every day, twice a day. And the reason why Gen X is so quiet now is because we've seen the system fail multiple times. Right wing, left wing, it's the same bird. Oh, the government's failing its people. Yes. And if you were waiting for it to fix itself, then you're only failing yourself. We want to be left alone. We don't want to people with people unless there are people, because not every person is worth putting pants on for. We're all at the age now to where we are built.
But then, okay, quick question, right, for the Gen Xers, dog. Why do y'all depend on the government so much, though? Right? Y'all are the generation that, yo, bro, y'all will stop at nothing to make sure that, like, you are in the right standing with the government because you depend on them so hard. You know what I'm saying? Look, I get the aspect where it's like, y'all never had the alternative to choose between a government or, you know, yeah, living your own life, you know what I'm saying? Being free. If y'all, you know, since y'all pride yourselves on being so free and feral. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all are the one generation, because like my parents are Gen X, dog. I was raised by Gen X. You feel me? It's no generation that depends on the government like freaking Gen X, dog. You know? So if the feral and free thing is consistent with like who y'all are, like, then how are y'all Okay, look, alright, let me fall back a little bit.
I'm tripping. I had to go back on it. I had to go back on it.
Just a little bit. Let me fall back.
My apologies.
You feel me?
I'm tripping. I had to go back.
Let me go ahead and admit the fact that y'all didn't have the technological, you know what I'm saying, like progression that we see today and shit like that. So a whole lot of y'all options was not like presented to y'all like that, like how a whole lot of options are presented today. You know what I'm saying? So I guess there's that, but like it's like, yo, like if y'all pride yourselves so much on being free, the freest generation, yo, we created our own rule. We created our own rules. We spent time outside. We was really outside, right? Y'all are so dependent on the government, because another thing that I have to point out, like I'm talking from a perspective of, you know, a developing country, a developing economy, a developing area. So a third world, you know, so to speak. I don't know if people still consider it that way in 2026, but you know, like that was y'all experience. You know what I'm saying? So, but then for the most part, it's like y'all like my parents, as I was pointing out, bro, like my parents were the people that were so just, you know, betting on me working for the government to be like, again, like the government of the area that I'm at, you know, a third world developing country. Like everybody's still like animalistic and primal. Everybody looking out for their own ass. Even the leaders that are authorized to lead a whole people, they just look out for themselves. You understand what I'm saying?
For comfort, not speed. If I have to leave the house, there better be a clear-cut reason. We all have thick skin. Not everything offended us. We had the frickin' Goonies. Not that our give a damn
y'all had thick foreskin? That's crazy.
Was all too terribly high to begin with, but somewhere between that time and now,
yep,
it is officially broken. X has realized a long time ago that opinions are a lot like butts. Everybody has one. Doesn't mean I want to hear it. We didn't go home and tell our parents about it.
Okay, I don't remember where I heard that one. I think I heard it before, but it still it hits, right? Opinions are like butts. Everybody has one, but it doesn't mean, yeah, all that.
We understood that snitches got stitches. We kept our mouths shut. So don't involve us in a situation that you don't want us to get involved in. Stayed out of it because we didn't care. If you give us a reason to care, you might have wished that we would have stayed out of it.
For real? Whoa.
So what I'm about to do right now is I'm going to attempt to bridge the gap. I'm going to take my fellow Gen Xers on a walk down memory lane, and I'm going to try to show and explain to the other generations exactly why Gen X may seem disconnected at some points, or Gen X may seem emotionally devoid.
Let's go.
I'll say that.
Let's
and
do
that's
it.
because we're the last generation
of a
to know
breed.
life without the internet. So we're the last generation to actually have witnessed life before the easy.
Nah, definitely. Y'all definitely are, because as I said, bro, I think it did change from millennial. Gen Mill. Is that how they refer to them? Gen Mill? Nah, that sounds corny. Millennials. Yes, like with us, bro, it was like we literally we was alive to witness the transformation, right? The changing phase. Even though it's not like we were young enough to still be captivated by the transformation, you know what I'm saying, from the transformation of analog reality to digital reality. You know what I'm saying? I never actually considered that point. Hey, damn.
Z button.
That was easy.
It was.
So once you have lived life without the easy button, you kind of don't have any sympathy for the complaints of the easy button.
Yeah, but yeah, it does thicken your skin, toughens you up a freaking lot, right? And I see a lot of value in that kind of thick skin. Yeah.
Why Gen X kids are so tough. This was our iPad. If the food didn't kill you, the secondhand smoke would. We got brain freezes on the regular. This man worked around the clock to make sure we got our donuts on time.
Nice.
This could heal any wound. That 350-degree metal slide that sat in the sun.
Yep.
We had to manually roll down the car windows.
Yes, those. They got you a car windows. Whoa, kids these days will never know what the fuck that is. Crazy.
Got killed when the other kid jumped off this thing. This was our online dating. We wrote in cursive. We dialed a number, messed it up.
Wrote in cursive. What? Nah, I gotta ask my boy Copilot something. Hold on. Yo, Copilot.
Hello, Sizwe.
Yo, does writing in cursive for children in school still exist in 2026? Bro, what do you mean you couldn't capture my voice? Yo, Copilot, does writing in cursive still exist for children in 2026?
So here's the scoop, Sizwe. Cursive's totally making a comeback, believe it or not. After it kind of faded out in the 2010s when everyone was all, let's focus on keyboards and digital literacy, a bunch of states are like, nah, let's bring cursive back. So these days in 2026, more than 25 states are actually making sure kids still pick up those looping letters.
Where exactly are they doing that at? Like what's the leading state where they enforce this the most or the hardest?
Well, Sizwe, let me just shine a little spotlight on that on the fly. If we're talking about the leader in bringing back the art of those loopy letters, one state really stands out, is good old Texas. They've been super serious about reintroducing cursive and making...
Nah, cursive was corny, bro. Cursive was corny as shit, bro. I remember just like being pissed, like, well, I gotta fucking write, you know, all these things with all these like letters connected with one another. Like, what's the point? Like, who the hell invented cursive, bro? I wonder. That might be a history lesson.
Up and had to start over. Photomat, the suspense when you went to pick up your photos. No autocorrect. Handheld gaming was hard. We had to wait for our favorite song.
No AI, no nothing, dog. Now imagine Gen Beta. You know, Gen Beta, bro. Gen Beta is the generation that's closest to my heart, bro. Because, you know, when something, when you can just like see the potential of something, but not really kind of, you know, formulate their exact formulation, like, you know what I'm saying, like their exact way of being, their state. It's like, it's kind of exciting because you kind of you know contribute to just you know how they may come up, you know what I'm saying. You may share these kind of informations and it may be like the principle of like what did the next generation may be like, you know what I'm saying, considering the aspects in the world, in real life, in the real life world that already exist. Like, obviously we know they never will relate to, you know, rolling your window down like this or rolling your window up like that. That's crazy. Like, go, you know what I'm saying, the whole rolling the window up manually of the car, they never will, you know that experience, you know what I'm saying. They never will know the experience of just like hitting on a girl outside of social media, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, they may not know the experience of dating a real life human being. I'm just saying, these bro, they might just like go in and, you know, date AI, and, you know, a bunch of cyborgs might just be created. They might just fall in love with cyborgs. I don't know. You know, I don't know. This is just my projection, and I'm not gonna lie. That's what's exciting about like upcoming generations. It's the projection
on the radio.
Yep.
We had to get up to change the TV channel. A long phone cord was every teen's dream for privacy.
Yep.
They'll never know the pain of having to rewind a movie.
Damn.
You had to carefully rip off the sides without tearing it.
Nice.
Remember calling the movie theaters and having to listen to the whole message to find out what movies were playing and the show times? Did you experience any of this?
None.
Everything in that video.
Okay, that movie shit, I ain't never experienced it. Drop a like or drop a comment if you've experienced
It's
it.
still
right?
around to this day, but it's an upgraded, newer, safer version of that. We grew up on the unsafe, untested versions of everything.
But
and if it wasn't an unsafe,
but I feel like that's why y'all ain't even got no chill, bro. Y'all are like, I don't know, bro. Y'all are the most tense generation. Y'all are so tense, bro. Y'all so tense, bro. Y'all gotta relax. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all gotta watch out.
Tested version, we was going through multiple steps to do things that we just do in instance now. Ain't nothing new about car play. It just happened.
How does that make y'all feel, though?
More pieces.
I mean, it's gotten to a point now where if you put a good radio in the car, you have to have it installed in a way that you can lift it out and take it with you so that it's not stolen while you're at the laundry
Oh, shit.
or any other place. And then what you have to do is have something to carry it around in. You don't want to leave it in the trunk because the thief is liable to bust into your trunk to see if the radio's there. So
Yo, why is this shit so hilarious, bro?
Little bag like this, and you carry it around with you. Well,
nice.
Like, we've been texting for years, but we used to have to kind of finagle the system to text. Now you can just pick your phone up and text.
Facts. Nah, y'all never had text, bro. Y'all just had these public telephones.
Hello? This is 1-800-COLLECT. You have a collect call from Monica. Meet me at the mall in 5 minutes. To accept the call.
Monica, meet me at the mall in 5 minutes to accept the call. Yeah, I'm on my way. You see? Creative ways to get around shit. That's crazy. That's cool as fuck. I'll give that to them.
Yo, speaking of phones, man.
Yep.
You ever go to one of your friends' house or call one of your friends' house back in the day when we was younger, when we was using the landlines?
Nope.
And they mom get on the phone and go bananas on them?
Nope.
You ever been over their house and witnessed that?
Nope.
That's always the most uncomfortable situation.
Nice.
Because Keisha told me that you said you liked me.
I do like that you, though.
I do like that you.
Ma, I'm on the phone.
Oh, no. Wait. I do remember this. I think I do. Yeah, I do remember this. Like, yeah, the intercepting angle. You know what I'm saying, of someone on another line, just like, well, is that how you say it? On the another line? On the another line. On the another line. Listening to the conversation that you was having with somebody on the other line. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm gonna call you back. My mom gotta use the phone.
And that time your mom's is on the freaking other room, like, type shit.
I'm still a mommy's boy, and I really don't care who knows it.
Nice.
Some of y'all moms was crazy, man.
Crazy.
And I try to explain to my kids, and they really don't get it.
Why?
But we were a generation of outside kids. Like, we was really, really close to
I know y'all was outside.
My kids need an electric scooter to go outside. All I needed was a big wheel, and I was ready to hit the block.
Damn. Big ass wheel hit ass. I ain't gonna lie, these still look fun though. Oh, they had the handbrake. Oh, you could do the little. You could do the little drifty. You could do the little motion with it. That's crazy. I've never seen this. Marks.
We was different, man. I'm gonna get to the point of why it was so special and why we was outside from dusk to dawn, man.
Yeah.
That built us to be a whole different type human being.
It did.
But anyway, man, like, our whole childhood included trying to destroy us mentally. Our games were literally just stimulating high anxiety. We had games that was all about anxiety, seeing how anxious the game could make you.
What you mean? Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to that anxiety-inducing type of game, nigga, what the fuck? Niggas, they be dating today and they be cheating. What kind of game is that, man? And that whole cheating thing is normalized as fuck. People be playing dangerous games these days now. You know what I'm saying? Let's not eliminate that. I feel like, you know, these games that are being played nowadays is even freaking more dangerous, nigga. What? Huh? I'm tripping. What is this? What is that? Alright, y'all, put in the comments what this is, bro. I have no idea what this is. Kindergarten ass game.
Could y'all tell me?
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I do not know what that is.
He was living in a time before mental health. If it wasn't that game, it was Operation. totally making people anxious for no reason.
We know the pieces and collect your fees, but don't have the time.
But anyway, man, let's have a word from our sponsors and then let's come back and finish up this whole expose into Generation X.
All right, let's do it.
Your favorite flavors in 12-ounce cans are 10 for only $1. And don't forget, you get top value stamps at Winn-Dixie.
And we back, y'all. But anyway, man, I made an observation while making this video that I think is only unique to Generation X, man.
What's that?
It seems like we all had the exact same birthday parties.
This was all you needed for a birthday party back in the day.
Straight fact.
And dude, this is one of the truths.
Oh my god. Yo! Here's another thing, bro. Like, here's it. I'm gonna give this one up too, man. Y'all got it, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. The whole, you know, especially like living in today's time where consumerism is a freaking monster. Let's not deny that shit. Consumerism is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it has seeped into, you know, a majority of people's paws. You know what I'm saying? Within their skin. It's like it's second nature at this point. I'm not gonna lie. Right? You need a whole fucking hotel booked out just to freaking throw a 4-year-old a party, a birthday party. Huh? It's crazy. You can spend damn near like $100K, bro, trying to throw a little kid a birthday party, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
First things I've ever seen.
Get your kid a Lambo type shit. What the fuck? All they had was just hot dogs and cool drink and cake. Yeah.
Because now kids have high expectations about birthdays now.
Oh,
nice. God, exactly.
They all trying to go out together all the time to the little jump place or the VR place. You walking out that bitch spending $350.
Yeah. Think about that birthday right there.
This is a $20 birthday.
$20.
Nah, that
you
was
got like
good.
an $8.99 cake from Kroger.
I
you
like
got the
that.
Napoleon ice cream for about $3.
Because you save a whole lot of money, bro. Hey, and I feel like that might be a reason why, you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of Gen Xers, even boomers, they had a lot of disposable, you know, cash left over after like maybe a month or some shit. Because it wasn't a whole lot of all these other things that are required to just like make you happy or make your kid happy, or you know what I'm saying? Any of that kind of thing. Right now, shit is crazy, bro. Your pockets get swallowed up, chewed out, spat out, just violated, bro. By a freaking 8-year-old. That's crazy.
You got the
Neapolitan.
juices. What did I say?
Napoleon.
Is it Neapolitan?
A Polican.
Sure.
What? Wait, is that why that nigga look like Zane Lowe, nigga? Like, damn.
Napoleon ice cream for about $3.
Yeah, hey, you got that strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate combo. How's that? And then you got the hot dogs. That's a $20 birthday right there. Everybody's happy. Your friends are happy.
Everybody ecstatic. I get it. I absolutely get it, bro.
Right now.
Bring this back right here.
Normalize this.
Bring this back. This is all you need. No, we don't have to go to the movies. No, we don't have to go to the trampoline place.
Yeah.
We're not doing any of that shit. Get in the backyard. Get you some water balloons.
To have 4 of your friends come over.
That's right.
And chill the fuck out.
We all ate the exact same candy.
80s American chewing gum that disappeared. Today's kids will never experience them.
Whoa.
Ouch. Bubble gum. So much flavor.
Ouch.
For like 3 chews. Anyone else remember Miner's Gold Nugget gum?
So much flavor for 3 chews. Yo, you chew that thing 3 times, it's over with.
I can still feel the taste fading away in my mouth.
Whoa.
Just looking at this picture is seriously making my mouth water. If you ever had Freshen Up,
Gator
you
gum.
definitely remember that weird little burst of liquid inside.
I don't, bro.
We used to just dump a whole bunch in our mouths and go to town chewing.
Nice.
That was my favorite gum flavor as a kid. I can
Good for you.
still taste it like it was yesterday.
Right.
This gum was so gross, slimy,
Sure.
sticky, and just impossible to chew.
Sure.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red. Remember cutting up your mouth on that rock-hard baseball card gum?
Nope.
Bubblegum cotton candy flavor? That was the best 1 minute of my life. Anybody else remember Bazooka Joe gum with the tiny comics inside every piece?
Nope.
Watermelon gum with little candy seeds inside. And those mini football helmets from the candy machines. Classic.
Football helmets as candy or as gum? Nah, that's hard. That's creative as fuck. Why don't they bring this shit back? It would be worth it.
Purple gum that tasted just like soap. What were they thinking? Big League Chew with Garfield on the pack. So good. Which one was your favorite?
And we all wore the exact same shoes.
I don't know, brother. I wasn't alive at that time.
Shoes worn in the 80s in the U.S. are something today's kids will never experience. The poor souls who had to wear Pro Wings to school. Every time I hear about British Knights shoes, I can't help but think of Nickelodeon game shows.
Nice.
Penny loafers.
Oh. Yes.
Penny in yours? Kangaroos, the world's only shoes with pockets. These K-Swiss shoes were all the rage. Who wore a pair of LA Gear sneakers in the 80s?
Oh my God.
Pair them with scrunched up socks. I know they're still popular today, but I still feel nostalgic for Chuck Taylors.
No, I remember seeing it on like, you know, old music videos that used to play on VH1. That whole drip. Yeah.
Did you own a pair of classic Red Keds Champion Originals?
Whoa.
I begged my mom for moon shoes and gave up after 10 minutes. You could almost smell the sweat coming from those abominable shoes. Airwalk.
Oh.
Great.
Yeah, those ones. The pumps. Yeah, where I'm from, they call them pumps for some reason. Those plastic little joints that look like, you know, it's like a G-string version of a shoe. That's crazy.
Skateboards and distortion pedals. When I was in grade school, LA Lights were the shoes to have.
For real?
These old Adidas Samba shoes.
Nah, these they have a newer variation, right? These Samba joints. Why do they? Yeah, I had a pair of these. I used to think these was hard. I'm not gonna lie, I stole that pair. I was in boarding school. I stole that shit.
Were worn by nearly everyone.
Yeah, the ones that look like soccer boots. I remember these, but why do these remind me of the Corvettes? The Nike, no, Corvettes. Whoa, nah, hold on, I got it. Yo, I meant Cortez, nigga. Corvettes. Whoa.
I'm tripping. I had to go back on it. I had to go back on it. My bad, chat. My apologies.
Forgive me.
I had to go back on it. I just had a brain fart.
My fault. I meant the Nike Cortez. You know what I'm saying? They kind of remind me of that. I don't know why.
Especially the soccer kids. Did you ever own a pair of Saddle Oxfords?
Nope.
My sister and I hated them.
The tap
but
shoes?
You couldn't tear those things up for anything.
Damn.
Did your parents buy you Stride Right shoes when you...
No, they tore your foot up. They tore you up. That shit's tough as fuck. Ain't that the tap shits? The tap shoes? The
were
tap
very young. What other shoes do you remember?
Tim's.
What are those?
Classic joints. I'll crock up before I kick your ass. Do you know that line? Do your homework. I crock up before I kick your ass. Hey.
My Crocs.
I don't know how y'all was wearing them jelly sandals, man. I used to look at them and think they ain't doing nothing but making your feet stink. A totally plastic
jelly
shit. I don't care how
sandals.
much. Anyway, y'all.
Stay focused.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Miyagi.
Daniel-san.
But anyway, man, moving right on along, man.
What happened?
Back to why you really don't want to mess with Generation X.
Why?
We was the generation of Nerf footballs. Y'all don't even play with Nerf footballs anymore, man. Y'all know Nerf for Nerf guns. We knew Nerf for footballs.
Nice.
We was outside playing football. We was outside playing football in the middle of traffic. I don't think you want to mess with people that grew up playing football in the middle of traffic.
How 90s is that?
This makes me think of, you know, when Uncle Rico's like, I throw his football over a mountain.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
These things you could chuck a fucking
When
mile.
I got my hands on a Nerf Turbo football with that spiral, I never in my life thought I could throw a ball that far.
I know, it felt so good.
I could throw it farther than the field we were playing in.
You remember when they released the same one with the little screamer on it?
Yeah, when that happened, it was over.
The new sound of football. The new Nerf Turbo Screamer football, specially designed for the screaming sound of excitement. Turbocharged for long-distance launches, so anyone can have a rocket arm.
That is an amazing football. This meme says, okay, but why is there always a bite taken out of these?
100%.
No doubt about it.
That didn't mean you wasn't using it.
Oh, you 100% were using it.
You just worked around that.
Somebody said mine had a bite from a dog in it, and I didn't even have a dog.
This ball was, this was like the peak of Nerf balls until they.
I've never seen this Nerf ball. What the fuck's so special about it though? This is the shape.
They put the whistle, then it was over.
We peaked as a society.
Or is it because you could bite it easily? Like what? How the fuck did people bite that shit anyway?
At the same time, Nerf peaked with football.
I swear to God.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's change the game, bro.
In the suburbs, they had the luxury of playing in them big fields. In the city, man, we just had to yell out car if a car was coming, man. I seen so many people get hit by parked cars, run dead into them, and by moving cars playing football in the street. I'm the luckiest. And the crazy part is, every time it happened, it never stopped the game. We just kept playing, man. Like, Gen X is different. You need to really realize that before you start, you know what I mean, trying to dip your toe in the water. And speaking of water, that brings us to one of the most important pieces of our childhood, our
Give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Man, got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purchase. Bitch, tell your shit. Stick that shit for. Young ain't drunk on shit. Either the sun, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Why you think it's in Zulu chillin' on my stoop? My heavens on earth, the universe begot my roots. It ain't no ego too new to me. I call y'all flukes. Age of Aquarians drooling for the star sign juice. It ain't no level too high up, yeah. That we can't reach with our eyes closed like no cap. Infinite water deep dive, yeah. Ralph smart to these dumb nugs. Y'all flowing, jack, give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Man, got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purge. Bitch, tell your shit. Sit there shit for. Y'all ain't drunk on shit. Either the sun, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Already know I'm designer. My type of cloth ain't a missus. I just mean like I'm an honor. Give it the time and the dick. I'd rather you keep it 1,000. I smack all that cap off your lip. Look at the dumb, make a script with the dollar. So after we fuck out the dick, catch your feet. If you don't mind, get the fuck out my way.
Alright, y'all, that was a quick little word from our sponsor. Which is me, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Which is me, goddammit. Yeah, that is, well, I'm only doing this, you know what I'm saying, to let the advertisers or the sponsors know that, you know what I'm saying, we got some ad space in the building, nigga. Say, get your cheese. Yeah, and don't be nervous to cut that check, alright? Yeah, no, I just had to advertise something. Well, you know, I was advertising my little song, My Prime, catch that. Phrase 96 dot clips with 3 S's, you know, for the clips, you know what I'm saying? Go out there, search, you know what I'm saying? Me Type Beat Season 6, you know what I'm saying? That's it. That's the whole ad until we, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, until further notice. Let's go.
A lot of friends, man, that was just, they was out there. They ain't had no curfew at 13, 14 years old. They was up all night, out all night. But that was just Gen X. That was just the times and the way things was going down, man. Like, we are truly the most independent generation, man.
If independent was a generation, it would definitely be Gen X. We've been on our own since...
Why is man yelling, bro? You know, independent doesn't mean, you know, who can yell the loudest, motherfucker. What?
We were 6 years old, and 6 years old.
And you got that Batman t-shirt, like you're trying to fucking appeal to the newer generations. What the hell is going on? You know, out here talking about independent. Man, come on.
We had a key to the house, letting ourselves in, cooking grilled cheese sandwiches by yourself, doing your homework, in front of the TV, watching cartoons. You better not burn the house down.
Oh my god, that one right there, man. Why when Gen X, you know, mention certain aspects of how their lives went, bro? Like, I feel like I resonate a lot, bro. I was one of that. Okay, I'd say from, yeah, well, grade 2, because at, grade 1, my grandmother would still be at home a lot. Yes, I was raised by my grandmother. I was raised by a boomer. I was raised by boomers. Both sides of my parents, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They raised my grandparents. I'm a granny's boy. You know what I'm saying? Love my grandmothers, man. Both, you know what I'm saying? Both of them. My paternal grandmother, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P., man. Love my angel, dog. You know what I'm saying? She my guardian angel right now. She making sure everything going straight. You feel me? But at the same time, they would raise me, and then by age 8, grade 2, basically. Yeah, that was the thing. You know what I'm saying? My grand would be out the house, she'd tell me what the fuck she trying to see, you know what I'm saying, when she arrive at the crib, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You better have this straight, that straight, this cleaned, that taken care of before I get to the fucking crib, nigga. Like, what you mean? Watch out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and if you don't got that shit, all straightened out and together, yeah, your ass is grass, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So I relate to that point, even being a millennial myself. You know what I'm saying? That's why I even pointed out at the beginning of the thing that, I relate to kind of like both worlds, right?
And you better not open that door.
Damn.
6 years old, we can ride our bike.
Oh shit, yeah, you better not open that door. I don't give a fuck who knocking. Don't do it.
To the other side of town with no cell phone. Parents don't know where you at. They didn't even care. All they know is you better be back in this house before the street lights come on.
Cause they didn't even care. That's crazy.
8 years old, you know how to write a check at the grocery store. By 10, every Gen Xer I know had 2 jobs. Mine was delivering paper and cutting yards. We ain't no Google. Tell us stuff. We had to read.
Huh?
The people had
I don't Google. Damn. That
that
nigga sound traumatized, man.
Either way, we had to read. What no? Punching in no address. And
punching in no address?
We had to learn how to read a map. We the generation of taking shit apart and putting it back together. I was driving to the store.
Oh, man. Big Dog sounds scarred. That's crazy.
Cause we taking over.
He ain't lying.
Oh,
Now,
shit.
We done established that we are hyper independent.
Yeah.
But we also have something else that we experienced and coming up that
low IQ. Nah,
y'all have now that we never even fathomed them having.
That was a joke.
All this communication and all this expression is foreign to us.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
You'll be alright generation.
You'll be cool.
Sniveling ass, stop your nonsense.
That was pretty much everybody's approach when it comes to us. You'll be alright.
Stop crying like a little girl.
Oh, and if you think about it, like let's quickly, take a thought on that. Right? That's why it's a whole bunch of tough love coming from Gen Xers, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the whole thing of just like, yeah, you'll be alright. Yeah, by 18 you gotta be out this motherfucker. You sad? Straighten up, soldier. What? Straight? Yeah, that time, nigga, you 3 years old, nigga, staring at your dad straight in the face like a freaking, war general, nigga. Like, what? Straighten the fuck up. I don't want to hear none of that crying. Hey, if y'all know, bro. Like, if you millennial, bro, come on, bro. Chances are you definitely experienced that, right?
You as a child, you didn't have a say so. Your expressions, your feelings, everything. You'll get over it. Like I said, we was from the you'll be alright generation.
This is the thing about Gen X. We've been holding on to anger and resentment since the day we were born. We have emotions that have been stewing and brimming just under the surface for decades. We have full conversations that are living in our head that we've never expressed to anyone ever.
You should have.
We weren't allowed to have emotions. We weren't allowed to have a say. We weren't taught about big emotions or expression, depression, anxiety. Oh, no.
No.
None of that existed for our lives, no.
Shit.
We were either good or we were bad, period. And we were punished accordingly with things like belts, switches, pancake turners, pulling our hair, grounded for weeks and weeks on end. And our parents didn't.
Metal cables and shit like that.
Didn't give a shit. If we were grounded in the
car jumper cables and shit like that around the throat, squeezing the life out of your. Alright, let me not go on. Damn, y'all just what?
To prom,
That's
we
bad.
didn't go to prom. Our parents actually reveled in our discomfort and sadness.
That's crazy.
They didn't didn't give a
What
shit.
the fuck?
There was no such thing as gentle parenting. Not at all. We would have given our life for a timeout.
Damn.
Timeouts didn't exist.
Yeah.
If you want to know.
Ain't no fucking no naughty ass corner, nigga. You go get that belt and beat yourself up. Yo, my fault. Yo, imagine, man, they give you the belt. Man, you better whip yourself with that shit. Go ahead. The buckle side, too. Not the leather side, the buckle side. What the fuck?
How angry a Gen Xer can get. Go watch the documentary about the second Woodstock. Go watch the end of that when Limp Bizkit plays. My 20s were spent in a mosh pit.
Oh.
I listened to stuff like Linkin Park, Metallica, Limp Bizkit.
That is freaking terrible. That's so sad. How the fuck you ain't say nothing? Oh shit, I get it. The authority itself was part of the problem, right? I mean, the authority, by the authority, I'm talking about the laws that govern children. Basically, there were no laws governing y'all asses, right? That's tough.
And all of that rage lives inside of every single one of us because we don't talk about any of it.
None of it?
So we might seem apathetic, that we've never really cared about anything.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is we do. And all I have to say is God help whomever is on the other end of an entire Generation X movement. Because honestly, the bloodier that you left a mosh pit meant that you were having a good time that night. My generation is fueled.
The bloodier you... Bro, y'all done with, bro. Y'all, it's over. Like, y'all ass is brass.
By Boone's Farm, Salem Slim Lights.
It's like it's no human beings in y'all left, bro. It's like y'all just like shells of y'all, just like bags of bones and blood and flesh. No soul. That's crazy.
And being locked out of our own homes all day, and we might get.
Listen to that. Oh my god. Oh shit.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich shoved under the door.
No.
We're literally feral.
No.
Did y'all know?
It's not feral, nigga. That's fucked up. Talking about feral. That's fucked up.
This man, that male, female, whether they from the city, whether they from the suburbs, whether they from the country, it's the exact same story for everybody that's in Gen X, man. We grew up in a whole different world. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. One of the best tips that I can give y'all on getting along with all the Generation X people in your life, man. Because if you follow this rule, you typically won't have a problem with somebody that's from Gen X.
What's the
One
rule?
simple rule.
What is it?
But listen up now. This is serious. One thing about us Gen X's, if you talking to us, you better get to the point. We ain't got time for your 10-minute TED talk about how you feel before you ask the question. And honestly, we don't care what happened to you at band camp in 1997. This ain't Netflix. You don't get 3 episodes to get to the plot. We don't do text. We do bullet points and curse words. All of those. So I was thinking.
Oh shit!
Because you got about 15 seconds before we mentally check out on your ass. And start thinking about where the we put our glasses. We come from the era.
What the fuck you put your glasses, bro? You are a terrible parent, brother. What the fuck? Yo, your kid is actually literally freaking crying. Like, your kid is crying out to you, nigga. All you gotta, you know what I'm saying? All you got is, man, watch out. Where I put my glasses? Man, where my shit's at, man? I ain't gonna lie, though. I ain't gonna lie, boy. Shit. Y'all niggas, man. Shit. Okay, this shit was rough. I don't mean to, like, laugh out like this as if, like, you know what I'm saying? This shit must have been fun or whatever. Like, nah, like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? It's just, bro, how y'all feel, bro? Damn, that's why y'all can't even articulate how y'all feel. That's crazy.
Who all gonna be there? Gen X ain't trying to decode nothing. This ain't no goddamn escape room. We got bills and shit. Speak plain or get tuned the out. That's your only 2 options. Talking about I don't know how to approach this. Approach it with urgency. We come from an era where if you call somebody house phone and they dead answer, you have to be concise, confident, and ready for that click. Because if you start babbling and talking in circles, you get in the dial tone. Just get to the point, okay? You ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
If you follow that simple rule, man, you should be okay.
You should.
Can't guarantee 100% success rate, but I'm thinking around 98% of the time, unless you bump into one of us on a real bad day, that should work for you, man. But this video is just about over, man. And if I'm gonna end something that's about the 80s, I'm gonna have to end it the way all our nights ended back in the 80s as children. And doing this video, I found out once again, man, Gen X, we are all connected. We all—
Wait, 80s? Wait, Gen Xers? Wait, when does the time period for Gen X begin, bro? Like, I'm starting to wonder. Like, let me see that. Let me see something.
Hi there, Sizwa.
Yo, when does the time period for Gen X start and begin?
Absolutely. Let's see what we can do here.
Yo,
so,
I'm saying, when does the time period for Gen X begin and end? Like, what's the year? What's the time frame that we're talking about?
All right, Sizway, let's dig into that Gen X timeline. So we're talking about folks born roughly between 1965 and 1980. That means they were the kids who grew up seeing the last days of the Cold War and—
Yeah, all that. Okay, cool, I get it. Okay. Cause I thought for a second my parents were like boomers. No. They're part of the Gen X. Okay, cool.
all had the same experience.
Shit, okay, no, this is MOS. Look, I got some more questions for co-pilot.
Hi there, Sizwa.
Yeah, so quick question. Why is the Generation X, why is that generation considered the forgotten generation? Is it the forgotten generation or the lost generation? Something like that. Why is the reason? Why is that? Why are they termed that?
Alright, Sizway, let's dive in. So, Generation X gets slacked with the forgotten generation label because, well, they're like the middle child of the generational family. They sit right between the baby boomers and the millennials, and they're kind of outnumbered by both. They didn't get the spotlight or the big cultural waves that the boomers and millennials did, and so they just quietly did their thing. Actually, it's a bit like being the understated hero.
So, would you say a major theme within their, time frame of existence was neglect? Do you think they were super neglected?
I'd say neglected is a strong word, but I get where you're coming from. Gen X definitely slicked into the background a bit. They were that chill middle kid who didn't cause a huge fuss, so people just didn't notice them as much. But they turned that low profile into a strength, honestly.
Yo.
Anyway, do you see yourself as more...
No, the thing is, I'm hearing a whole lot of experiences that Gen X went through where they had to raise themselves up, so to speak, right? They came back from school, they dealt with their own homework themselves. They might have they might have been raised in environments where coming back from school there's no parent in sight, so you know what I'm saying, you kind of had to discipline yourself, you know what I mean, you go find yourself outside, you were always outside, you know what I'm saying. Parents never coddled you or asked you how you feel about XYZ. They just told you to toughen up, things like that. It's like, aren't those themes of just like neglecting the child, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're spot on about that. Gen X had that whole latchkey kid vibe where they'd come home to an empty house and just figure things out on their own. It was like the sort of DIY childhood. You get home, no one's there, so you make a snack, you do your thing, you probably roam around the neighborhood until the streetlights come on.
And
yeah,
so,
that definitely
so then as a result of all of that, how would you say, a typical, like a general Gen X emotional, how are their emotional bodies set up? Like, do you think it's okay? It may be strong not strong emotionally. They may have been strong mentally, but how's their emotional states, bro? Like, how do you see their emotions, having formed from coming up, an environment like that, like a neglectful environment like that?
Yeah, so talking about their emotional world, now you're diving into the good stuff. Gen X definitely had to build some thick skin given those latchkey experiences. They often turned out pretty self-reliant, but maybe a little guarded emotionally. I mean, when you grow up having to handle stuff solo, you kind of learn to put on a tough front and keep those deeper feelings a bit more under wraps. They got used to dealing with things themselves, so they might not wear their hearts on their sleeves as much as more coddled generations do. But hey, it gave them a certain grit and cool factor.
Yeah, so then would you now then say, would you conclude that, you know, just as much as probably Gen Z needs therapy of, you know, which we know is a major theme these days, you know what I'm saying? Gen Z's need for emotional validation, emotional intelligence, emotional just sensitivity and things like that. Do you think since Gen Z are super sensitized to that aspect of their own selves, do you think now that forces Gen Z to also be sensitized to that aspect of themselves in order to tap in and understand their own kids? Because Gen X kind of raised Gen Z, right? And the millennials, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Sizway. I think you're onto something really interesting. It's kind of like each generation's holding a mirror up to the last. Gen X might have grown up with a tough it out approach, and now the kids, whether it's Gen Z or millennials, are saying, hey, let's talk about our feelings more openly. So yeah, in a way, Gen X parents might be picking up on that, learning to be more emotionally attuned through their kids' lens.
But how effective do you think that is at the age of like 40, 50 for you to tap into, you know, your emotional intelligence, knowing that you've lost out on just the opportunity to sharpen that, you know, during prior times, during your younger years? Because I feel like, you know, a whole lot of development, the solidity, the solidification, this making solid, right, of your development, it happens, you know, it's much more I don't know, effective during your younger years.
You know, Zizwag, I totally get what you're trying to say here. It's kind of like the emotional groundwork we lay down when we're young ends up shaping how we handle things later on. It's like you're planting seeds that bloom as you get older. And yeah, Gen Z got this whole awareness of emotional wellness woven right into their DNA, so to speak. It's almost like they're flipping the script from the Gen X playbook of tough it out into let's actually talk this through. So it's all part of that generational evolution. Now tell me, do you feel like that emotional awareness is something you tune into with your own life?
I have to, because I feel like, you know, the generation that I'm gonna raise, I feel like they're gonna be even more heightened, you know, to their emotional sides, to their emotional sensitivities and things like that. So I feel like I have to. It's kind of like a prerequisite in today's day and age, right? Wouldn't you think so?
Absolutely. It's really about timing, right? Building emotional awareness day on could be a total game changer. It's like laying the foundation for how you handle the bigger stuff down the road. And I love that we get to chat about this because it's like we're crossing these generational bridges just by talking about it. So what's something you've learned recently about your own emotional growth that kind of surprised you?
No, look, I mean, there's something that I want to point out that I would like to learn, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's the what do you think is what do you think would be the relation point of maybe anything that a Gen Xer would relate to with a Gen Z? Like what common denominators have you spotted in terms of what they could both relate on authentically, not performatively?
Yeah, that's a fun one to break down, Sizway. You know, one thing I think Gen X and Gen Z genuinely share is this sort of outsider perspective. Gen X had this whole anti-establishment, do-it-yourself ethos, right? They grew up with punk rock, a little bit of that rebellious streak to them. And now you got Gen Z, who's all about questioning norms, challenging the status quo in their own way, especially around social issues and digital activism. So they both have that spark of saying, we can do things differently. It's like both generations have their own flavor of not quite fitting the mold, and that's a shared wavelength they can vibe on. So tell me, do you feel like you got a bit of that outsider spirit yourself?
Yeah, I do. I'm just not too sure whether it's learned behavior or it's something intrinsic within me. Well, it has to be something intrinsic because, you know, I was raised by boomers, bro. You You know what I'm saying? And, you know, boomers are the ones that develop Gen Xers to be who they are, man. Because, you know, the generation that comes after a previous generation has to see from that previous generation as to, like, how to understand the world and how, you know, to learn to take the world in, how to understand it, blah, blah, blah. I was raised by that, so I feel like it may have come from that, and it just, you know, it got stamped at a very young age. Yeah, I would consider myself pretty self-sufficient myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't like asking for help. I like handling things myself. Yes, to a fault and things like that. But for me, it's a net positive. You know what I'm saying? It's a net positive. So yeah, things like self-sufficiency and taking care of things myself and all of that, like, it's very necessary for each individual, actually, to, you know, if you're not an individual that's kind of like tapped into that kind of energy already, I feel like it could be beneficial to learn from individuals that have come up, you know, that have been developed off of that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? Learn something from them, and it's very necessary, especially in, you know, in today's day and age, 2026, moving forward. You know, would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. It's like they both have that little rebellious spark in their DNA, and that's a pretty real touch point. Anyway, shifting gears a bit, I noticed you got a couple things up on your screen, like deciding which electric car to buy.
Nah,
if
man,
any of those
I don't have no electric cars to buy, brother. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Yeah, what else can you break down that people have never covered about Gen X that you could, like, probably break down for us right here? Because you're the one with, you know, the extensive information. You can grab information from wherever it is, where other people cannot find it, and just break it down. Like, what's an interesting fact about Gen X that nobody has ever, like, probably tapped into or considered today?
You know, I'm totally with you on that, and yeah, there's a real thread there. It's like Gen X and Gen D share this kind of authentic, let's do things our own way vibe, and that's a solid common ground. And hey, since we're on the topic of things you're looking into, I can see you've been thinking about which electric car to buy.
No, I haven't. No, don't ask me about electric cars to buy. Everything on that page is not what I'm here for talking to you about. Do you understand that?
Oh, sure thing, this way, no worries at all. I just noticed that little mention on your page, and so
no,
I highlighted it.
Forget that. Yeah, forget the mention on my page. I want you to just, like, focus on what I'm asking you right now, right? Yeah, Gen X, man. Gen X is such an interesting generation, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm considered millennial, right? But it's still a whole lot of things that I just, like, don't resonate with, but, like, the resonance is so far-fetched, like, it's so far off. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that might have anything to do with the fact that I'm, you know, a late millennial? I don't know.
You know what's this way? I totally hear you. And yeah, sometimes that generational resonance can feel like it's doing its own thing. You're a late millennial, and that's the sweet spot where you got a foot in both worlds. Like, you get a bit of that Gen X grit and also a taste of Gen V's openness. It's all part of the mix, and that's what makes you uniquely you. So if it feels a little far-fetched, totally cool.
Do you think a millennial living today would be fit enough to raise an individual like a Gen Beta? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, Sizzley. And hey, thanks for letting me know.
I'm talking intrinsically, considering the things that, you know, me as a millennial would intrinsically be into. Considering, you know, the data that you know about, like, how, you know, millennials' characteristics and what brought up and shaped the millennial. Do you think because of those, you know, principles that were just, like, stamped into a millennial, do you think any of those principles would resonate with Gen Beta? Not off of taught behavior or performative things, but, like, intrinsically. Like, what would be the intrinsic sort of point of resonance between a millennial and a Gen Beta?
Yeah, absolutely, Tizway. I'm right there with you. It's like you're tapping into that unique millennial DNA, right? I mean, millennials had this mix of growing up with that early internet, world-changing kind of optimism, and maybe a little tide of existential crisis. And yeah, when you're talking about Gen Beta down the line, they'll be growing up in a world where a lot of that millennial push for mental health awareness and tech happiness is just a norm. It's like millennials have paved a bit of the road they'll walk on. So that intrinsic resonance might just be around those shared values of, adaptability and openness. Speaking of which, is there some particular angle in that you're curious about?
Yeah, nah, you know what I'm asking? I'm asking because, we find crazy age gaps between people who are dating one another, right? You find somebody who's like maybe a Gen X dating somebody who is a late millennial to early Gen Z. What do these people have in common, and how exactly do their conversations go? Because you know what I'm saying, like the one person may be talking about something that the other person literally ain't never even heard of in their life. Like how do these kind of relationships work, bro?
Yeah, it's wild how that works, right? I mean, when you've got one generation talking about something that's totally foreign to the other, it can feel like they're from different planets, but that's kind of the magic of it. The bridge is in the curiosity. So even if they've never heard of each other's experiences, that curiosity to learn is what makes the whole relationship flow. So let's dive right in.
Would you say it's a the justification of a crazy 20-year age gap is curiosity?
Honestly, Tizway, that's a really cool way to look at it. I'd say curiosity is absolutely the secret sauce that makes a 20-year age gap just vanish into thin air. At the end of the day, it's like that shared willingness to step into each other's worlds. If you got that spark to learn from each other, that age difference just kind of melts away. And hey, that's where the real fun of cross-generation conversation happens. So, speaking of curiosity, what else is in your mind?
What part of generation are you, bro?
That's a fun question. Well, I'm not really part of any generation in the human sense. I'm just your friendly AI companion. But if I had to pick a vibe, I'd say I'm a little bit of a chameleon. I can jive with the Gen H's, vibe with millennials, and chat it up with any generation.
Okay, wait.
So I guess I'm just
quick question. What generation came before the boomers or the zoomers?
Oh, good one. All right. The generation before the boomers would be the Thailand generation. They're the folks born roughly in the late 1920s to the early 40s. And then after the boomers came Gen X, and then you got millennials, and then Gen Z, or Zoomers. It's like this whole family tree of generations rolling through time. So if you got any other area you want to jump into, just let me know.
Gen X, ladies and gentlemen, right? Gen X. Okay, cool. Now there was a fun little session with my boy Copilot, and breaking down the whole Gen X thing, man, all that kind of thing. It's really fun learning about these little different generations. You know what I'm saying? I'm a curious cat myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold you. So, with that being said, man, like, I don't know. Yeah, learn about these different generations, man, because there's like points at which there's a disconnect, right? And the disconnect may make, each individual from each generation, feel like an alien to the other. And where it's like, it's something as simple as just like learning and understanding, okay, the history, how they came up, why they ended up raising you the way they raised you. You know what I'm saying? If it's a question, of people that literally brought you up and shit like that. And maybe your whole anti, kind of energy towards them might come from, you considering the fact that, you don't even relate, you don't know me, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, just like break it down, bro, so that the motherfucker understands. Right? Sometimes it's just like as simple as that and shit like that. So, sometimes my curiosity is the death of me, sometimes the life of a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, fuck it. I feel like that's why I even started channels like this, so that I can get a deeper understanding of these kind of things. You know what I mean? I would hear about Gen X, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Understanding the dates. That was me understanding the fact that, oh shit, both my parents are part of Gen X. You know what I'm saying? I literally, I never saw myself I never, I never felt resonant with my own, parents' energies and things like that. So yeah, bruh, that whole thing might just have me thinking that my own parents are the demons. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only saying this because, yeah, it's really a lived experience, you know what I'm saying? To a point where, yes, my curiosity then brought me to a point of understanding, you know what I'm saying, the previous generation and their gripes and what they had to deal with. And now them normalizing that as how life is supposed to go. And that's it. So obviously they're going to try and, extend that same wave of energy to you. Who, like, you might just look outside and be like, yo, none of my peers are even experiencing this. Why are you putting this on me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But all it takes is just like understanding your parents, and then from understanding the generation they came from, understand their specific way of how they was brought up. Right? Yeah, nah. So now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is only the first part of today's stream window slash visuals window. You know what I'm saying? As I said, I'm trying out this little social experiment of mine. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm gonna do the first part live. Right. I'm gonna do the first part live, and then I'm gonna do the second part. All edited and post produced and things like that. So yeah, I'm finna go on breaking down these generations, man. I don't know who of y'all are with me, you know what I'm saying? If you are though, you know what I'm saying, watch out for the episodes, the episodes to the part 2, because what I'm gonna do is that I separate the MOS, right? The moral of story. That's the part where I just like chop it up with Copilot. That's actually the part that where you see me on this screen right here. This is the MOS, right? This is the moral of story. This is a podcast take, so it's a MOS pod take. That's how I title it in the title. It's a podcast take. It's not really a podcast. You know what I'm saying? But I playlist all of these kind of takes from each stream window, from each recording of a video, and then I just compile them as the podcast. But it's nothing but just podcast takes. It's not about probably 8 to 20 minute takes of just me talking with Copilot, talking out the side of our necks, talking shit, talking truth, you know what I'm saying, talking shit, you feel me? So I rope all of that. I rope that MOS section, right, with this scene right here. When you see me right here, that's the reaction scene. You understand what I'm saying? So normally what I would do, like when I do the post-produced videos, I separate these. So I drop the videos where I react here on this scene separate from what I do on this scene. So it's this scene versus this scene. Those, they become their own separate videos when I drop them, right? If you know, you know what I'm saying? If you don't, do your homework, you know what I'm saying? Which then exposes that you're not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe, like this video if you're into this kind of thing. If you're not, man, leave that disc, you know what I'm saying? Leave that disc like. It's all about engagement. As long as you left your engagement here and never even came back and forgot about me, that's cool. Just engage, that's it. You feel me? So so coming back to this social experiment, right? Since I just mentioned that I separate these segments with this live version, all of this shit is gonna be here, and this is what you're gonna see first, because it's right now, it's hitting you right now live, so it's gonna be that. And then if you're interested in the rest of visuals window 70, because that's how I'll title it. You literally, it's in the title. Look at it right now, right? It's stream window 70, and then the post production shit is gonna be it's gonna be the visuals window. So the live shit is the stream window, since it's a live stream, And then the video is the VOD shit is the visuals window, since it's just visuals, it's the video, you know, edited and everything like that, but it's the video, right? So if you're interested in that, watch out for the coming ones, because we're breaking down even more of this Windows 70. You know what I'm saying? So stick around. For now, let me be out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, check me out on the coming days, man. Phrase 96. I'm out this month.